Hey, welcome back. We go from shift gears a little bit here. We're at the Liquid Lunch Studios on Broadway. We're in the Question Tequila Studios. And we shift gears now and talk right here on the home front about some domestic policy. Maureen Callahan was here a little earlier talking about how Google is out there compiling health records on people, potentially violating some HIPAA laws and other stuff. But at the forefront of the 2020 elections will be health care. After the impeachment hoax is over. And here to talk about it today is Joe Salvani. He's the CEO of JFS Investments, an expert in many things. But Joe, you and I have been talking for some time about what you think are a couple of simple fixes that the government, particularly President Trump, can do that can significantly lower pharmaceutical prices.
Yes, actually, the laws are on the books today to allow certain types of technologies to be used. For example, you have your cell phone. The advent of the iPhone and then follow on with the Android, everybody basically now can access and do telemedicine. With the access of telemedicine, you can do telepharmacy. So there's no reason why you can't visit a doctor online, have them prescribe for you, and have it shipped directly to your house. That would basically change the nature of all distribution. The problem is, for Medicare and Medicaid, which counts for 25% of all spending, it has to go to a local pharmacy. It has to be delivered to that pharmacy before it gets delivered to you. So you can imagine in today's world, it's almost like saying you have to go to Sears to pick up your product when you can get it shipped to your house. Guess what's happening to Sears? It's going out of business.
That's right.
So the same thing is going to happen to your local pharmacy. The same thing is going to happen to the pharmacy benefit manager, and the same thing is going to happen to McKesson and other companies like McKesson.
Well, let me ask you, if I can, Joe, a little bit about the economics of healthcare in general. The baby boomers, it's no secret, are all getting into the age where, whether they have private health insurance, Medicare, or some combination, as most of them end up doing, they're in need of a lot of healthcare services, because the older you get, the more you end up spending on healthcare. What can we do, whether it's the government paying for this or private sector insurers, other than eliminate or adding a middleman in the case of delivering drugs to seniors? What can we do to reduce healthcare costs for the system in general?
Well, very easily, okay, if you look at the overall population, 92% of the people spend only about $1,300 a year on medical. The rest of all the medical spending occurs among 8% of people. If you wanted to make life simple, the U.S. taxpayers would take care of those 8% and let everybody else do a self-insurance type with high deductible, and then basically put the money towards it. And at the end of the year, if you didn't get sick, you get the money back. Just so happens there's a company like that that's doing that. There's a company called Quad M that has actually launched a product enabling the independent contractor to basically work for a staffing company and lease themselves back. And in doing that, be able to get health care that they can't get right now. And at the end of the year, if they stay healthy, they actually get back a sizable amount.
So Joe, just for me to break that down simple for our audience at home, people don't maybe really get it, but when you're paying all these healthcare premiums, that's so that the insurance company has money to cover you when you have some kind of emergency or health issue. 92% of Americans, you said, spend about $1,300 a year. I know with some of my employees, insuring one privately, a single person, is like $700 a month.
Not to mention insuring married people.
So that's $8,500 a year. If the insurance company only spends $1,300, then they're making $6,300
on that person, yes.
And you're talking about there are companies out there like Quad M that if they spend $1,300 on you, you get some of that money back into your healthcare savings account.
Think of it this way. Let's take your number, 700. What a plan for Quad M would do for the individual, they would put maybe 125 right off the bat into your health savings account. You would have a $5,000 deductible. Anything above $5,000, they're responsible for paying. You pay that $700 a month goes into the account, $125 goes into the HSA. At the end of the year, if you didn't spend more than $5,000, they're probably going to put another $125 a month into your HSA. So by the time it's all said and done, or maybe they'll probably even do more, I would say that probably anything above $350 is going to go into your HSA if you didn't pierce the $5,000.
So you can get $3,000-$4,000 back on a single person
And
somewhere around.
And by the way, it's tax-free. So what they have done is they have figured out a way to help an independent contractor like myself, or maybe yourself, anybody who basically has their own consulting business, to basically get insured and cover the catastrophic component.
And these are the people who, a lot of these people are in the gig economy, these one or two man businesses that are getting killed with private insurance.
Right.
We broke it here, okay? We had Pat DeLeo, the CEO of Quad M, on the show. He was trying to get on all other networks to talk about this new way they're doing it and ensuring the new gig economy and small businesses saving a boatload of dough. We're the only show on television that was willing to talk about it, Joe. But I think over the coming months, people are going to hear a heck of a lot more about this.
Matter of fact, it's a public company. Symbol is MMMMM, like in good. Okay.
M, like good.
You got it. So what's interesting about it is that it just literally became public. And the advantage is they just launched this product. As of this week, I think they're actually taking in their first people. And I anticipate there's 60 million people that they say are in the independent contractor or gig economy. And they're growing rapidly. So that's a large component of the economy.
All right, we're keeping you up to date on everything. This is the #1 issue in the 2020 election, healthcare and pharmaceutical costs. Joe Salvani, thank you for joining us. We'll take a quick break. We're going to come back. Frank's going to correct all my mistakes that I made today.
No. We don't have time to correct all of them. We're going to correct some of your mistakes.
Joe, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We'll be right back.